They really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator. And so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked for the role.
For weeks, the women on The View turned Karoline Leavitt's jaw-dropping $800 million lawsuit into a laughingstock. They chuckled, rolled their eyes, and treated it like a punchline in a bad comedy skit. It was like they thought they were invincible. Untouchable queens of daytime TV, mocking anything that didn't fit their narrative. But now? Oh, now it's a whole different story. Behind the scenes, panic is spreading like wildfire. Those same women who tossed out jokes are now, allegedly, losing it behind closed doors. Whispers are flying that some of them have even reached out to Leavitt herself, quietly asking her to drop the case. Yes, the ones who mocked her on live TV are now privately begging for mercy.
Whoopi Goldberg says she got it wrong.
Words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected.
What changed? How did things flip so hard so fast? Let's rewind the clock. When the lawsuit first landed, the vibe on set was pure arrogance. Joy Behar kicked it off like she was leading a roast. Arms folded, attitude cranked to 100. She sneered, "Conservatives always play the victim," and then hit the kind of eye roll that could win an award.
Oh, yeah. Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job.
It was so over the top, you'd think she was auditioning for Broadway. Whoopi Goldberg didn't even pretend to care. She let out a long, dramatic sigh and mumbled something like, "Please, not this again," acting like the whole thing was beneath her. Meanwhile, Sunny Hostin, the so-called legal expert of the table, brushed it off completely. With total confidence, she snapped, "It has no legs to stand on." Her tone? Ice cold, like she'd already read the court decision. All of them acted like Karoline's case would disappear in a day. Poof, like a trending hashtag that fizzles out by lunchtime.
I have to stop you with the camera, because I can see you. So do me a favor, don't pull it out again. I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
But behind those tight smiles and rehearsed banter, something was starting to boil. And now, it's exploded. No one expected Karoline to go all in like this. No one thought her legal team would be this ruthless, or this prepared. Most of all, nobody expected regular viewers at home to actually care. But now the internet is buzzing, lawyers are circling, and those big talkers at the table? Off camera, they're quieter than ever. This isn't just daytime gossip anymore. This is legal pressure. Real legal pressure, the kind that cracks foundations. Rumors are flying that behind the scenes, some of the hosts are freaking out. And not just a little. We're talking meltdown mode. And remember how fast the big liberal media networks jumped in? CNN, MSNBC, all of them rushed to label the lawsuit frivolous and ridiculous. Legal analysts piled on, calling it laughable, like it was already buried 6 feet under. But here's the twist. ABC's legal department? They weren't laughing. Not even close. While the hosts kept up their smug act on air, upstairs was chaos. Emergency meetings, tense strategy sessions, lawyers combing through every single page. And once they really read the lawsuit, the panic kicked in. This wasn't just a PR stunt. It was a serious case, and they knew it. Sources say ABC's legal team was shaken. The lawsuit was tight, filled with receipts, direct quotes, timestamps, internal emails, the kind of evidence that holds up in court. And if even one of those claims stuck, it could mean disaster for the network. We're talking hundreds of millions. Then it happened. The flip. The moment execs realized this wasn't going away, suddenly, whispers about a settlement started bouncing off the walls. Damage control kicked in hard. Emergency meetings were called, scripts were rewritten, and behind closed doors, every host got the talk. What to say, what not to say. How to stay on message. The confidence, gone. Now it was fear, raw, frantic fear, and it was leaking into every corner of the building. The hosts kept the act going for a while, pretending like nothing was wrong, cracking jokes, brushing it off like they always do. But behind the scenes, total chaos. ABC's legal team was in scramble mode, trying to contain the fallout before it hit critical mass. This wasn't just about defamation anymore. It was about reputation, about legacy. The network knew it, and they were scared. An insider put it bluntly. We take all legal matters with the utmost seriousness. Translation? We're in deep trouble. Karoline wasn't bluffing, not even a little. Her team came armed with documents, witness statements, internal memos, everything.
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on looks?
And ABC? They knew they had a lot to lose. The lawsuit was airtight. And suddenly, no one was rolling their eyes anymore. Inside those glossy studios, panic was spreading like smoke through the vents. The execs were split. Some wanted to go full courtroom battle mode, ready to flex legal muscle. But the realists? They wanted a quiet exit, a fast deal, a check and a signature. Anything to avoid this blowing up in public. And the hosts? They didn't even know at first. While they laughed into the cameras, the people upstairs were already plotting a way out, behind their backs. But the silence didn't last. When word of a possible settlement leaked into the green room, everything changed. You could feel the tension shift. Suddenly, the same women who mocked Karoline were realizing the network might pay her off. That hit like a gut punch. Whoopi Goldberg, the queen bee of the panel, totally lost it. For weeks, she'd laughed at Karoline's lawsuit like it was beneath her.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders, and frankly, they don't even know what they're talking about.
But when she found out ABC might settle, she exploded. In a closed-door meeting, she snapped, "Are you kidding me? We're actually taking her seriously?" Her voice cut through the room like a siren. For Whoopi, this wasn't just legal trouble, it was personal. She'd held that show up for decades, taken every hit, weathered every storm, and now ABC was ready to fold? It felt like betrayal. And she wasn't the only one fuming. Joy Behar stormed into her dressing room like a firestorm. She slammed her makeup bag on the table. It burst open, brushes flying everywhere. "We built this damn show," she shouted, her voice full of fury. "We made this network millions. And they're folding over some stupid lawsuit?" Joy was red in the face, pacing like a caged lion. All that loyalty, all that success, tossed aside like garbage. Even Sunny Hostin, the calm one, the legal expert, was rattled. She'd read the full lawsuit herself, and what she saw had her spooked. Emails, transcripts, sworn statements. It wasn't just risky, it was a ticking bomb.
For me, and sort of lived lives of dreams deferred and poured everything in me, and just my life, how I transitioned from college. I went to college when I was 16, high school when I was 12, the struggle of that, and my career as a federal prosecutor, and then how I found my way.
And some of those details? They pointed right at private conversations she thought were long buried. Every sarcastic joke they whispered backstage, every off-camera quip. Suddenly it was all in play. And if this went to court, nothing would be off-limits. So producers scrambled. They rushed out a last-minute segment, a half-hearted attempt to soften their tone, pretend it was all just misunderstood. No apology, no ownership, just awkward pauses, weak smiles, and a sad attempt at damage control. But viewers weren't fooled. The sass was gone. The sharp wit, replaced by nervous glances and clumsy lines. The fearless attitude, vanished. Now it was just shaky hands and hollow laughter. And Karoline, she hadn't even said a word yet. Karoline Leavitt hadn't clapped back, hadn't done an interview, hadn't even posted a dramatic tweet. And yet the View was spiraling. The silence was louder than any speech, and it was driving the panic into overdrive. Backstage, execs were scrambling to figure out how to stop the bleeding. Calls were flying. Crisis managers were circling. But the damage? It was already spreading like wildfire. And viewers weren't buying the act anymore. No one believed the sudden, let's all calm down energy. It was too late. The court of public opinion, ruthless. Social media was tearing into the hosts, calling out every contradiction, every phony backpedal. Clips of Whoopi pleading and Joy's nervous glances were edited into viral memes. "When you laugh too soon and your lawyer calls," one caption read, "brutal." But it wasn't just memes. Sponsors were watching. Ad dollars started drying up. Ratings dipped. ABC was taking hits from all sides, and Karoline hadn't even stepped into a courtroom yet. That's how bad it was. Inside the network, division turned to outright war. Some execs still wanted to settle quietly. Others were digging in, afraid paying Leavitt would set a dangerous precedent. But either way, one thing was crystal clear. The empire was cracking. Then came the twist no one saw coming. Rumors leaked that Karoline wasn't interested in a settlement anymore. She wanted court. She wanted the truth out in the open, and she wanted everyone to see it. If that happens, it's not just about money. It's not just about a few offhand remarks. This could expose years of backroom deals, private messages, and unfiltered opinions that were never meant to be heard by the public. If even a fraction of what's rumored comes out, it could be a total media bloodbath. And the hosts? They'd go from TV royalty to courtroom defendants. Every joke, every eye roll, every smug takedown could end up under oath. This isn't just a PR nightmare. It's a full-blown reckoning. Because at the end of the day, Karoline Leavitt isn't just suing for herself. She's swinging at the whole system. The power, the arrogance, the untouchable media bubble, all of it. And if she wins, she won't just take down The View. She might burn the whole thing to the ground.